Did you know some of the most common food products that we eat every day have high amounts of toxin and poison, which can lead to short-term stomach discomfort to long-term health problems? Hello guys, and welcome to Target 100 Years, a channel dedicated to finding ways to live 100 long years of healthy and happy life. This is a two-part series on 10 common food items which are toxic and tips on how you can tackle it. So let's get started. Number 1. Lentils or dals. While being the most common food items found in our kitchen, dals have large amounts of herbicides and pesticides. In order to protect these dals from rodents and weeds, they are sprayed with herbicides like glyphosate, which is a potent germ weed killer. This composition is more so found in imported pulses from Canada and Australia. Considered safe until March 2015, this herbicide was labeled as a potential carcinogen by WHO or World Health Organization. Carcinogen is a substance capable of causing cancer in a living tissue. Glyphosate also damages protein-related functions in the body. It attacks the immune system and stops absorption of essential vitamins, minerals and nutrients. After this advisory, Government of Punjab and Kerala in October 2018 and 19 respectively banned the glyphosate and revoked license from manufacturers and distributors. The central government has also initiated a process to restrict use of glyphosate. In 2018, FSSAI had set maximum residue level of MRL. While the government is doing its bit, we still need to be much more vigilant and careful in how we use these dals. Cooking lentils at high temperature in a pressure cooker or in a kadhai is an effective method of removing chemical residue, as it decreases the potency of chemicals left in the dal. However, for other forms of consumption, we need to be a little more careful. Dals consumed as sprouts, chila or halwa must be washed thoroughly 3 or 4 times for at least 15 seconds. And after, when it turns into a sprout, it needs to be washed again. The same washing process has to be repeated before crushing when you are making a chila batter. Another way to minimize consumption of chemicals in dal is to opt for organic dals. Brands like 24 Mitra, Organic Tattva and Tata etc. claim to have lower chemical residue and lower usage of herbicides and pesticides. Moving on to number 2 are the eggs. It is highly likely that the eggs we are consuming are contaminated with salmonella, lead and cadmium. Unlike Western countries where steps are taken to sterilize eggs from contamination from salmonella bacteria, the Indian poultry industry lacks these basic rearing practices. In 2005, Indian Veterinary Institute Bareilly reported to have found lead and cadmium in eggs, which can be due to chemical mixed in their chicken feed. Not only that, the hormones fed to hen produce more than 1 egg a day, and the antibiotic helps them to stay healthy in those cramped conditions. These chemicals then eventually percolate into the eggs. Gentamicin is a widely used chicken feed in poultry industry. Traces of this chemical are found in eggs. It is a nephrotoxin substance that has the potential to damage human kidney. Consuming egg poisoned with lead and cadmium can lead to heavy metal poisoning among children, resulting in IQ deficiencies and even mental retardation. Salmonella infection is a bacterial disease that can affect your intestinal tract. Other diseases like typhoid fever, food poisoning, and gastroenteritis are all types of salmonella infection. In 2017, FSSAI had laid standard parameters like eggshell must be free of blood rings, must not have fecal matter on them, and must not be cracked. From a hygiene perspective, they have emphasized on storage conditions for adequate moisture, temperature, and to reduce microbial contamination. It is advisable not to consume them raw, but to cook them till the yolk and white becomes firm. Reaching internal temperature of 71 degrees C will ensure to destroy any salmonella bacteria. You can even go for some brands like Kegs who offer desi brown eggs at a reasonable price. Being a big corporation, they have to maintain certain quality standards which reflects in their products. Another good practice is that the eggs once bought need to be washed carefully with soap and water to remove any surface contamination, and then refrigerated separately from other groceries. Number 3 on the list is meat. The meat industry in India is highly unorganized and unregulated, because of which the meat is kept in quite unhygienic conditions. The raw cut meats are easily contaminated in the storage itself. Even more dangerous, broiler chickens are injected with a high concentration of growth hormone and chemical-based feed, which increases their body size. Antibiotics are often given to the chicken to increase their immunity. Consuming this chicken leads to antibiotic resistance in our body, which further leads to body not responding to medicines over a period of time. After buying the meat, wash it thoroughly with warm water for at least 15 minutes. This would remove any form of contamination from the surface. Refrigerate it in freezer immediately if you are not consuming it then, and separate it from other food items so that even if some trace of contamination is there, it doesn't propagate to other food items. Cook the meat at high temperature for at least 2 hours. This will make sure to kill the bacteria and decrease the potency of antibiotics and growth hormones. Avoid eating tandoori chicken and chicken tikka. As these are smoked meat which have their own harms, the amount of chemicals are not reduced by this cooking process as well. It is also better to opt for desi murga, which might be a bit expensive but has a high nutritional value compared to the broiler chicken. It is easy to identify desi chicken meat. They have a strong smell and meat is firm. Unlike the broiler, the meat is soft. You can contact your local chicken farmer or visit websites like Freshcart, Zapfest and the Fresh Meat Market to buy desi chicken. Moving on to the next item in the list is wheat processed food. They are essentially refined carbohydrates with low fiber content. For example, white processed food can be polished rice, white bread, biscuits, maida, which can easily be found in our Indian kitchens. Bran and germ contain nutrients like protein, fiber, vitamins, antioxidants and minerals. Since they are all sucked out, it leaves behind the refined form of carbohydrates, which makes these products too easy to digest. They spike up your blood sugar and insulin levels instantly. Emulsifiers made from vanaspati glycerol and organic acids are added to the bread products to increase their shelf life, and it also allows non-mixable liquids like oil and water to mix smoothly. Potassium bromate and potassium iodate is added to maida to increase the volume of its product. Though it is a banned substance in India, there are several reported cases where even larger bread manufacturers use it to increase the shelf life and make the bread more fluffy and appear fresh. Few advices on this case: white processed food are the kind of food that aggravate your stress levels, so avoid eating refined foods at all cost. If you cannot avoid bread altogether, try switching to local baker for confirming the ingredients that go in the bread and move to a healthier brown bread or multigrain breads. Generally, biscuits have a high sugar and refined flour content, so it's better to look out for ingredients. For example, sugar and cream biscuits usually have 40 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That's quite high, so it's better to stay away from such stuff. It is a good idea to switch to honey-based or low-sugar biscuits or rusk. Many such products are being prepared by smaller players. Few links are shared in the description section for you to choose from them. Even normal atta, for that matter, must be mixed with chana to reduce the GI index. Moving on to the fifth item in the list is milk. In addition to water, commercial urea melamine is added to milk to falsely increase the protein content. Ammonium sulfate is added to increase the lactometer reading by maintaining the density of diluted milk. Salicylic acid, formalin, hydrogen peroxide, benzoic acids are added to preserve and increase the shelf life of milk. Since milk fat is expensive, some milk manufacturers skim the fat and compensate with non-milk fat like vegetable oil, detergents. Detergents are added to emulsify and dissolve the oil in water and give it a frothy look. Harmful impacts of these milk can be renal failure, inflammation of the intestines, kidney problems and disruption in hormonal functioning. The majority of milk that we consume today is A1, which is derived from the western cows. However, this contains a harmful protein which has long-term effects on our body. You can get more details from a separate video on A1 versus A2 milk. The link is in the description below. Some of the key advice, few steps to be taken to prevent ourselves from these chemicals is: There are a lot of milk testing kits available in the market that can help you determine the purity of milk you're drinking. You can also try switching to local doodhwalas with a good track record, and you can visit their farm, check the quality of milk being produced over there. These were the 5 top food items with harmful chemicals in them. If you liked our video, please press the like button and share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel Target 100 Years and stay with us in this journey. Click on the bell icon to never miss an update. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also tell us what other topics you want to see the next. Stay tuned for our next video. Till then, goodbye.